A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker. He watches the show. To the overthinkers. Shout out to this is Pascal. Thank you, overthinkers.
During the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Tando Pela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamelo kuchopha ngeke kuphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Jose Mokwena. I'm your host. And this is a place where we love South African football. We love African football. Every now and then we dip into England when Arsenal has done a little bit better. Guys, the show is on. This week is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then, of course, if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana are in action, we will be here with our watch-along. It's a very interactive show. It's a show where you can jump in and tell me what you feel about whatever it is that we're going to be speaking about on the day. Now, it's Monday. So on Mondays, we do our reviews. On Mondays, we look at the big three, what they did over the weekend. And of course, Kaizer Chiefs didn't get to play their game versus Irvin AM. We know what's happening in Irvin AM. So they've rolled that game that was meant to be on Friday. And then, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates were in action on Saturday. Pirates winning 2-1 versus Cape Town City. A bit of revenge because they lost the first leg 1-0 over in Cape Town, the game that had to be delayed and moved on to the next day because Pirates namanzi. And then, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns beat Chiefs Galaxy 4-1 in another revenge game because Chiefs Galaxy had beaten Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0. So that is what we're going to be speaking about today. And please, guys, don't be shy. Kupari gift, guys. Kupari super chats, kupari rose, kupari hats, kupari lion. Hey, kiri kupaka fella. Let's support. Okay, let's get straight into the first one. Remember, each panel is going to be 25 minutes. If you want to jump onto the show, you have to click on the button that says multi-guest, bottom of the screen, you have to be following me. So those watching on YouTube, just know that is the procedure if you want to add your voice to the show live. Then, of course, like I said, 25 minutes on the timer. Let me put it up. And you get 5 minutes each to basically state your point. If you could make it 3 minutes and I can ask you a question, that would be great, so that we can get as many people in as we can. So for the first hour, we're going to be looking at Orlando Pirates versus Cape Town City. Then in the second hour, we're going to go into Mamelodi Sundowns versus TS Galaxy. So feel free to request. Feel free to jump in. While you do that, let's speak a little bit about Orlando Pirates versus Cape Town City. Now, the stats say that Orlando Pirates had 23 shots, 9 on target, whereas Cape Town City had 6 total shots, 2 on target. Orlando Pirates had 70% of the possession versus Cape Town City's 30%. They completed 484 passes versus 202 from Cape Town City. They created 3 big chances and missed 1. Which means they scored their 2 big chances. And then, of course, Cape Town City didn't create any big chances and didn't miss any big chances either. Then the scorers were Domingo in the 21st minute. Mabasa came in the 67th minute to score the second one. And then, of course, Goodman Mosele making a long-awaited debut for Pirates back from injury, scored in the 87th minute. Now, for me, this game was very interesting. It was truly a game of 2 halves. Now, in the first half, Orlando Pirates was kind of playing an open game, and Cape Town City was catching them quite a bit on the counter and maybe not taking the chances that they needed to take to take this match on and make it something else. But like I always say in our league, when it's Orlando Pirates or it's Mamelodi Sundowns playing, sometimes it's not even about going out and winning the game outright and dominating and doing all the stuff. Sometimes you just have to outlast the other team. Pirates in the second half went into a sort of a 4-4-2 formation. Machupa Mabasa and Dondo Musele. And that was a nice change. Hopefully, Coach Jose Rivero can look at that and see what's happening in the back or on his bench. Maybe bring in some different players. But enough about me. Let me bring in Khatliso. Khatliso, welcome to the show. How are you?
OG.
What's going on, my brother?
Good, man. I'm good. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you perfectly. I hope they can hear you there in the comments. But it's cool. I'm going to start the timer now. Tell me, what do you think about the game?
Very, very technical. I wanna a game there. OG, ne?
Yeah.
That was the sign of Bonisa Wuti. And like it's something spiritual. Bonisa Wuti. Do you want the league now? That was a question.
Yeah.
It's a first win in a season. We are goal down. Then we're able to go to score, equalize to come back. Because normally, if you pick out the games that we have lost, teams they score, then we never come back.
Okay.
Then when they score, then they shut the back door. Then they make sure then we are done.
Yeah.
So, Rivero, what I like now, into ayenzile. Yabona lento le phuma ku changing room. Ubashayile nge psychology ukuthi guys, nayifuna lento le league na because we are in this situation. Yabona the way Pirates pushing ngakhona second half. You can see ukuthi they talked with players. Bakhulume nabo nekwinto ebathi abayibizana lento le what can I say? Therapy session with kahle. We are in the title race. We put ourselves into this. No matter what abantu bathi sina debt or asina debt, but we find ourselves in that situation. You get my point? And secondly, one thing, the changes. Bafethu, the changes change the game. You can see Uti Mabasa was not getting a supply at all first half. Unobona ukuthi le side le Cape Town City on the left hand side they were overloading the side. Bamaka kule side there they make sure ukuthi once Savan Mfukeng kule side done. Mawunga kule side le Shandu is not operation because of Shandu decision making yakhe better. And I didn't understand Ushandu was he playing forward or was he defending because of he was not effective enough forward. You understand? Even yes, I understand Pirates is struggling right forward, but mina nengizofaka umunyai da. At least Munyai when it comes to attacking is a right back, but we are tolakale boxing gapai. There's a person ngamqala forward, but because of the coach saw ukuthi Mfukeng man bam overloaded too much. Let me put an assistant one Nkota. Nkota changed the game. Not Dondo. And then Dondo now is showing. Dondo Manje is showing Guti. I wanna play coach.
Yeah.
He's making Umbata. Uti Manje anga relax. Umbata now. Even though Guti, I'm ready, coach. Dondo these past 2 games, I'm very, very impressed. You know Nenkala ngai to shama back pass, but you can see Guti you ufunu kala man the game.
Okay.
Players of the bench now, but said they raising up Ubonisa Guti coach. We are there. If Laban Laba accidental, because I saw something gula middle OG. I saw a movement in a paya. I saw a different Orlando Pirates in that middle. Leagama Kaula, Australia, Leagama Kaula, no, Mbata.
Yeah.
Sibona baba pansi dropping down nan but umusele no ndlondlo movement nebayenza in that middle. Wow. Shoot it shows ukuthi kahle we need to study teams that bazo defend. We need to play double number 10. If we know ukuthi ama team azoshanga counter attack, we need to play that double number 10 sipasane because of if you can check Umbata is not effective enough. Yes, Shama long range, but he's not ineffective enough in terms of passing, attacking, ne-decision making. Udlonto into ayenzile, I don't know. Mina uze nge-magic lo muntu. And udlonto what I like, khona ukudlala ama-position ayi-2. Enhle kudlala 3 kahle kahle. I-6 angithi kureview ngathi umconvert as i-6.
Yeah.
Mara he can play futhi as a-8. He can play again as a 10. So ama-passes lawa akhe na the way apasa ibhola ngakhona, they were very very accurate. Ngikhulumela, I'm not talking about the game le siphuma kuyo. Nale game le against Baroka. Accuracy pass yakhe, it's very 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 good. Now udlonto maka performa kanje, I'm getting encouraged ukuthi imidlili yethu it has a problem. You know, I've been telling people ukuthi iPirates yes siyawina mara imidlili yami ngiyakhala. Umakhawula no Mbatha, they're not assisting uTito. That's why uTito ya drop abantu bathi uTito inkomo asinkomo. It's because of imidlili I'm support. Abombatha they stay.
Yeah,
yes,
for time.
Abombatha they helping us in terms of defender, that's all. But in terms of attacking, our team la defender nge-race force defense.
Okay.
So bring Londo, bring Patrice Motsepe, bring Umsele. Umsele one thing is 60 le.
Very quickly.
60 le godlan. Yabona. Thank you Bafethu.
Okay. No.
Ngepagania and futhi what I like.
Mara ngathi very quickly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sharp. Thank you.
Thank you, Khatliso. Let me go to Mendy.
OTT, my brother.
How are you, my brother?
Kishapu wena.
Man, kimonati man. Pirates win the 2-1. Uyibone jwanki?
Game OTT ki woni. But na ke iputsisa gore man, like what's going on with our players to have that ambition or maybe that aggression only if game it is not on your side, like that aggression, that ambition Pirates e bontshitseng OTT, believe me, like if ever they can instill that kind of aggression and that kind of mentality, believe me, they can win the league. But as long as they will only babonse character so only if ever they can see that no, we can't afford to lose. Believe me, they will never win the league, because if you can look at the way Baba Petsenga on OTT, like body language, everybody that second half, you could see where the only minimum results Cape Town City it will be a draw. So
then Marakupa Menpi, you're speaking about the performance in the second half. How much did the injuries to Rhodes, was it Rhodes, Domingo, how much did that have an impact gaming in?
Those injuries OTT the affected that game plan coach Edukara too much, because I think those were two players they were most effective on that game plan Machine Edukara. So after those injuries, you could see that the game plan was still there, and then they still used the same approach, but they were not effective before before those injuries. So I think those injuries, they had influence on that game OTT, because if ever they were still there, believe me, they was gonna get at least a draw or maybe win that game by 2-1.
Okay.
So now I'm worried OTT, like that mentality, that intensity, that hunger, that you could see that all of these Pirates players, they doesn't agree to lose this game. Like I saw a different Orlando Pirates. The ball was moving quicker. Each and every player was willing to do everything. So why should it be only if the result you are trailing? I mean the opposition team is leading you. So I'm asking for Orlando Pirates at least.
I just want to ask for this last minute and a half. How does Jose fix it then? How does Jose fix it? Because it seems like the change room is very important, and you might now go into games versus teams that can score one and maybe be structured a little bit better. Let's say CAF Champions League.
OTT, I think to change it, I think to instill a specific culture onto these players, whereby they should know that they have to win each and every game, and they should make sure that they are more aggressive. They have more hunger to win on each and every game. Like that body language, believe me, like for example, OTT, if ever they started like that during the first half, and then if ever they fail, yes, they are trailing like that, like the way they were trailing, and then when they come second half, they still show the same hunger and ambition to win that game. You could see that these people, they will win the league, because which means they will be consistent on that kind of a performance that they showed us second half. So that's the only way. You have to instill that culture among the players. Like if you can look at Sundowns, is that team that is always looking for the results, and they are always looking for a win. Even if they are trailing, they've got a way to come back and win that game. It's because those players is their culture. During the first whistle, when the game starts, they go all out. They are looking for the win. But as for Pirates, believe me, man, they've got this kind of a problem whereby on other games, they are not playing like the Pirates that we are used to. Like, for example, now, everybody saw how those players performed. But believe me, come the next games, OTT, we will be criticizing most of the Orlando Pirates players.
Okay. No, man, B, for time, I'm going to jump in. Thank you so much. Question for the comments, guys. How do you instill what Man B is talking about in the team? How do you make them hungrier? How do you make them come out and play harder all the time? That's a question there for the comments. Please feel free to answer it there. Let me bring in Putiza. Putiza, welcome to the show. How are you? Putiza. Hey, anguzwa kahle Putiza. Athi your mic, there's something wrong there. Let me do this. Let me move on, Mara. Usase corner. I'll come back. Let me go to the King Soma for time. King Soma.
Good.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. Tell me about this Pirates win. 2-1, Cape Town City.
But othi ngenze kanje ngiyabona isikhathi vela ngathi asithi esayidini lakho
Hayi ngizokunikeza isikhathi ungawari. Kuweka
wena. Asenze so but for the first time iPirates iwin ebenchini. I think uRivel asimgayeni kunento ayenza right. Ubebona ukuthi njengoba sihamba angeke siye ndawo singena bench eliproper. That's why mina bengihlala ngisho ukuthi noma kungenzakalana ama-issue athini, they need to saling. But izolo the way ibench lakhona libuye ngakhona ngizwe ngichazeka kakhulu. Mina uyazi siyikhosi, but I'm a football fan. Yeah, I'm a football fan. Uma ngizobona iPirates iwina ijahi Sundowns, I'm happy. I don't wanna lie. Asiqale lapha. Abalandeli be-Orlando Pirates bese bafuna ukumwriter off urile. Yabona kuthe makuphuma uTito. Was step up boy engasekho kuwinga esedlala eze number 10. Bheka le diagonal pass OT. Na diagonal pass from him ngase center straight enyaweni zakaNkotha. Cross a goal. Lentwana le ay vele captain yama 2K asinikeni lentwana siprotecteni ngako konke ngako konke iyakwazi noma ngabe igame ayikho esayidini lakhe angithi manje OT bekunalento yokuthi babheke yena babheke usaleni yabo akwazi ukuthi naye adlale ngapha babheke usaleni manje into ekhona kuza 3 ama-player kuyi-1 no boy phela usakhula kumele athole i-rest nyana singabheki kuze kweqe kuye yabo ngize kuma-substitute wa-coach ne coach was very smart. I think uNdlondlo uyasiphakamisa isandla uyasho ukuthi coach I want to give you more but into enginotice kuyo sometimes unokuluza amabhola like ufuna ukimpressa kuze kweqe aluza amabhola endaweni eyingozi yabona bese bathi uma bethatha lelo bhola libe i-threat kwi Orlando Pirates ngiye uXoki akakabi fit for mina. I think I can play captain yabo umayela than uXoki akakene he's not comfortable on a ball.
Mari defense is slow man. Kunini bayibamba kunini iCape Town City counter ibagijimisa lapha. What is the fix for leyo defense man? Ngoba umayela naye akekho fast.
Akekho fast umayela. Okay ke. I think uyalahleka uthi.
No ngiyakuzwa ngikhona.
Okay, I think lapho ke ma ukuthi mhlambe bashanga ukuthi ba fast. Asibuyisa ke uMonyane ke umdlali. Try uMonyane as a center back since bengakabi right laba abanye.
Okay.
It's my opinion. Yeah, ma ukuthi ba ushawa speed.
Yeah.
Buyisa uNonyane as a center back ukhona uBhodlela until kubuye laba abaya ku injury because okwamanje ama injury vela babanjwa ama injury. Hopefully bazothi maqala into zama CAF kuze mhlawumbe undawo uzobe sekabuyile or bani nomfana omncane uzobe seka right naye.
Okay, and then ngitsheleke midfield man sibonile midfield kaMbatha noMakhawula masabona uNdlondlo angene lapha nomsele khona ama option mara lapha in the middle ungafaka bani lapha for wena?
For mina puti ngizoyiyeka intshebe protect imali yePirates ne ngizoyiyeka intshebe protect imali yePirates bese ngithi Ndlondlo bese ngibuyisa uTito.
Okay.
Titi stop Tito iPirates uyenza ijive especially Orlando futhi Pirates can dance. Lethi iphutha la ka Rivero noma esenza ama mistake bese ugcina engamkhiphi agcine selwa nabalandeli beOrlando Pirates.
Okay. Ngithi ithingene for isikhathi let me jump in. Guys, can you still hear me? Not sure. Okay. No, Soma, thank you so much. Let me bring in Manumekutso. Thank you. You win the team how, man. You win the team how. The chase is still on.
Hey, never chase. Good evening, Mr. OT. Good evening to everyone. We are just trying, you know. Just one game at a time. 3 points at a time, you know.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Mr. OT. I think over the weekend what we saw was a game. First half was Pirates versus Pirates. And second half was Cape Town City versus Cape Town City.
Okay.
In the first half, it was so simple to see Uguti. Pirates are contradicting themselves, playing a very high line, but applying less pressure on the person with the ball. Someone might turn around and say, Ogi and BC were a bit slow. They were being caught. And the only reason they were being caught is because there was no pressure on the person with the ball. The defender who's deep and has the ball could just play a pass, had the luxury of time to look up, catch Francis or Chuedza or Kanekima, who's the other boy, Rhodes. It was too easy for them. I scram from the standing. It's either you drop your line or you apply pressure. Understand? And you could see and the aggression Yokmaka, Mr. Uti Bilek. There's a time where Van Rooyen tried to press but it was half-hearted. If it was oppressor, Mr. Uti, and they play on the counter, be aggressive with the press. Make a decision for the midfielder, which a pass move. Instead of turning. This guy is too aggressive, passing mover, and then they just hoof it up without actually passing. You understand, Mr. Uti? Or make those tactical fouls. And it's still, I was screaming from the stands. And I was happy to hear Uti
the Usbisi and the team had that talk halftime to say, guys, let's foul these guys. Just foul him, being a skipper, which is exactly what they did second half when Cape Town City would try and revert to what they did first half. You understand? In the second half, why I say it was then Cape Town City versus Cape Town City, they played against themselves. They decided to drop even deeper.
Yep.
They decided to pump less balls, making it easier for Orlando Pirates, trying to go back to his strategy late when things are bad, which is where we saw those fouls from Musbis. It was so bad for Cape Town City, Mr. Uchi, that every time Spisi had the ball, literally every time, he was progressing play by not only passing, but by carrying it at least minimum 5 meters.
Yeah.
With no one pressing. And I'm talking about making inroads into the central area, not even like from progressing it from D-line to maybe center circle. No, progressing it into Cape Town City territory, carrying the ball. You understand that? It baffled me with Cape Town City. Like, there's literally no one applying pressure. There's literally no one stressing him. I was impressed by him. And he deserved the man of the match. I thought the Bazoyen's a mistake by nigga someone else. And this is why Abon Drone and Abom Sele shown. This is why Coach Rivero looked at it and he was like, actually, this team, they're so deep. Isixia was playing on the D-line area.
Yeah.
Rather, I'm a midfielder who have a goal in them. Talent, unfortunately, is going through whatever he's going through. I'm a pass. Consistently passing the opponent. I don't know. He's a much better player than what he's doing right now. And I was happy to see Coach Rivero saying, you know what, Talente, I believe in you. You're one of our better players, but right now, we need someone else. And Umsele comes in. Ama fans did protest, Mr. Oti. Ama fans did protest. I was there. So it's a bit difficult. I hope we I don't think they were protesting against Umsele, but more against
Talente coming out. Oh, okay, yeah. Can I ask though? Can I ask, because there's just some time here left. I want to ask you, what does this Pirates team look like in the next few months? Now that you know that Abon Dondo and Abon Musele can come in at times, you know that maybe, I don't know if Nda's going to be back this season, but if Nda comes back, you've got another option to progress the ball. Well, what does this Pirates team look like when everybody's fit? Do you think that Jose is going to stay with the same starting lineup that he played now?
It's a beautiful team, Mr. Oti. I don't know if you caught me on one of the lives or the people here caught me. I was asked, Uchi, does Pirates have depth? We were having a back and forth about Sundowns Pirates. And I think I've said this to you. And I said, why do people write off Undlondlo? Yes, he has the risk of a Hollywood pass, which he will always go for because the boy is a definite midfielder. He just needs someone behind him and someone in front of him. More of an 8 than a 6. You understand?
Yeah.
Because he is going to make that risk. Good boy, I got subluto, you understand? So it's beautiful to have Undlondlo. And I mentioned Undlondlo, Msele, Rasiboja when I was asked, who's going to deputize for Omakaula? You don't have depth. I was like, guys, we've got so many numbers in there. We've got
team.
Even Tim, Mr. OT. It's just that the players, we've forgotten about them. And what we're missing about Orlando Pirates is that most of the players that are playing were introduced to us by the coach. And we need to trust in the coach. Your Kotas, your Riles, your Titos. I could actually count the entire lineup, Mr. Oti, bar from Ufan Royen. Most of those players, where they play right now, we were introduced to by Uhoto. You hear someone, by Urivero. You hear someone saying, why is my father Uhoto left back? I'm like, you 2 years ago would have lost it at the idea of Uhoto playing left back. And you hear people right now, I saw someone in the comments, and this is not on the negative side, saying, really is a better 10 than Tito. Last time when Rivero went to Ahly and said, we questioned him. And today we're questioning him based on what he has shown us, Mr. Oti. It's a money plan, and I'm even happier to see him go for 4-4-2, Mr. Oti. Go for that win, Mr. Oti.
Okay. No, I'm going to take this minute, guys, just to say thank you to everybody who's jumped on now. We're going to go into the second panel for Orlando Pirates. I wrote down the people that are here already. Remember, 25 minutes. Everybody gets 5 minutes. Guys, 3 minutes. And then I'm going to ask you a question so that we can just have a bit of a conversation there. But it is true what Malume Kuto said. Look, some of us have been watching Pirates and a lot of people that have been watching the show, you would know, that one of the questions I've been asking is, Mara, guys, there's so many players that are available there, and there's so many different combinations that can be made. And I'm glad to see Coach Rivero looking at the situation and going, okay, guys, let me bring in some of the other people that maybe aren't getting the game time here. Let me bring in some other people. Guys, Tim can still come in here. Musele can still come in here. You've still got Ndondlo that's available there. You're still on top of Talente, on top of Dlamini, on top of Rasibucha, on top of Makaula. Maybe Tim and Musele could maybe play the Makaula role a bit more, but that is the team. And I think where I want to go with this is, guys, when just there in the comments, Kim Viudi, there in the comments, we've seen now that we lost out on Ndanda, was out injured. We lost out on Usbisi, Utroki, and Sibisi and Sasane came back in and they played. When everybody's fit, I'm going to ask the comments, when everybody's fit, what is your starting lineup for Orlando Pirates? That is the question I have for the comments. But for time's sake, let me bring in Ungocha. Gocha, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm okay. I hope everyone is good.
Tell me about this game, my brother. The time has started. The time is starting now.
Okay. In this game, I saw, well, before I go on about this game, I'll start with Tito. Tito hasn't been good for 6 games straight. Since before the derby, he's been terrible, losing the ball, and being inconsistent during a game.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, Guti, when anything happens to Tito, what would Rivera do to put someone else in the number 10? Because he hasn't been giving other number 10s to play, just to bounce off Tito, so that when he's not doing that great, he has someone else to rely on to pick up the game for Pirates. But really showed on the day, he's a good number 10. He kept the ball longer. I think they were also scared to mark him because Bayas go with Zangaland when they're too close. But he kept the ball longer and he made the simpler, cleaner passes and not that complicated for his teammates. Hence, everyone knew where to be when Rele has the ball. He got just sprinted way before Rele passed the ball. That one. Yeah. And he was just checking. Everyone knew exactly where they were going because the whole team was attacking, and it allowed the boy to have more options onto who to pass for. Yeah, but,
can I ask before we move on from that point, what do you think is happening with Tito? Or is it a positional thing? Is it a form thing? What do you think is going wrong?
I think it's a confidence thing. Everyone understands how he plays. Everyone is now trying to get to pace Guti. Pirates plays well when he's playing well. So now they try to close him down or follow him. So he loses confidence, especially when he's on the last third in terms of what to do then. Even though on the other game he was showing that. Even though on the other game he did brilliantly on that open game where he was assisting Umabasa score on the other game. Yeah, but generally he's lacking confidence, and I figured him out. So when he's losing confidence, he plays deep and he makes those nice touches so that he can boost himself up before he attacks again. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, Gocha. Looking at the game that Cape Town City plays, is this the blueprint to maybe try beat Pirates? That you know that both left and right back are going to push up. You know that you're going to catch them on the counter. Stellenbosch did that. Cape Town City scored through play like that. Had some other chances later in that first half. Should Pirates worry about that? Is it that big of an issue?
No. It's not that. Machine plays like that. He did the same thing with Sundowns. He did the same thing with Chiefs. He's trying the same method no matter which teams he plays against. He will sit back and try to catch them on counters. It was only successful on Pirates. Successful on Pirates on the first game because Machine it was his first game. No one knew how he's going to set up his team, how is he going to approach the game. So Pirates couldn't prepare properly. This game, they had an understanding what he's going to do, but Pirates were too confident in their own ability to attack them, to press them so that they stayed behind. As much as Cape Town City tried to catch them on the left and right backs. They tried to catch them, but it wasn't successful. Ngoba that style it worked back in the days, not now.
Okay.
It's not an effective way to do that unless you play against Chiefs. Then it's going to be effective.
For the last
normal
30,
strong teams, no.
for the last 30 seconds, Shandu, can you explain Shandu in this game?
He's confusing. It was confusing for me to know what he's doing, whether he's a false 9 or a 9 or a 10 or a 8. It was confusing because he seemed to be too close to Mabasa, but at the same time he also was drifting too deep at certain times. I was confused, so I honestly couldn't say positively what he was doing, what he was giving Pirates.
Okay, no, gotcha. Thank you so much. Let me bring in Penny. Penny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. OT and the panel. Kunjani mhlekazi?
I was off this weekend. They're out of office. The Brian and sponsors there too. But it's fine, Penny. Tell me about this game.
You know, Orlando Pirates had a good plan for this game. It's unfortunate that Cape Town City had a plan to counter press and sit back, you know. And
Yeah.
when it was halftime and 1-0, I went on Koke's panel. We sat there and I told Koke, you know, second half at 65 minutes, Cape Town City will be nowhere because you cannot press a team that is going to hold possession of the ball for that long.
Yeah.
Number two, if you look at the first half, that is why I say the subs were from a master tactician. Jose showed, I've got a card that I can pull and win the game. If you look at the first half, they made sure whenever Relay has the ball, there's 2 or 3 players around him.
Yeah.
And while doing so, on the other side, we were loop-sided. Ushandu was playing as a false 9. That took away the spaces for Utito. That is why some people will come and say Utito was not effective in this game. But he's the one that made sure that we are always on position of the game. You understand? So as much as we didn't have spaces to progress to, Tito made sure with Orlando Pirates keep the position. The unfortunate part that I realize with us when we are on attack is that we don't have a register. Most of the time when we have a register, the register is the one that is going to read where most likely the team will come out, the outlet of the counter press.
Yeah.
So you always make sure that the register will always go and occupy the outlet. So that is why Uchiweza was always free, because we didn't have somebody monitoring that outlet for a Cape Town seat. But second half, I said, if we introduce Unkota, we are going to stretch a Cape Town City wide and have 2 wing plays that are going to stretch them wide, and we are going to score. When it happened, minute 66, 67, Nkota went wide and brought that cross, Mr. OT. I knew exactly what we've got a coach, and a coach that can read, because now when you take Uril, you are frustrating Umshini manje. They had a plan to have 3 players on relay on wide position. What do you do now if relay moves into the central midfield? Are you going to congest the central midfield for him because you know what he can do? Once you do that, you allow Nkota to be on a one-on-one. So that is why I'm saying the coach on the weekend really was capable to read what could then swing the game on his tail.
I wanna
our wide play.
Okay, just finish off that point. There's a question I want to ask you.
Oh yeah, on our wide play, Mr. OT, that's where we benefited. The shifting of Umfukeng to go and occupy that central play as a 10 and allowing, if you look at it, every time Kota was introduced, we play him on the other side of the field. But weekend, because we wanted to stretch them, he didn't go on the other side. He went on the ordinary wing left play so that he can cross in, not to cut in.
Okay.
Once we benefited, then we could try anything that we want, because now we want to influence the game.
I want to ask you about the point you made about the register. We've seen something similar with Ndlondlo last season. I think the first half of the season, Ndlondlo was playing a lot of a register type role, but he didn't often have the balance of maybe a more defensive presence next to him. Do you think that Pirates would go back to that register play knowing that, you know, Makaula's now found form, or are we still going to carry on seeing Mbata? And does Nda have a say on this when he comes back, because he becomes the playmaker at times, the libero?
You know, Mr. Oti, to answer your question, there was an interview whereby Umakehleni Makaula won a man of the match, where he said Sesane and Sbis, they are the one giving him instruction to say, go left, go right, go left, go right. And we didn't concede on those games.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think it's a matter of the changing, the injury to Sesane. Now Sbisi and Kogi, maybe they are not communicating to their CDM to say, move to the left, move to the right, as it was with Sesane. You understand? So it's a matter of communication between the center backs and their register to say, hey man, drop a little bit deep, move to the left, move to the right, so that he understands where most likely the outlet of the opposition will always go. Because with the counter press, the most dangerous thing is when they get to find that outlet. Once they get that outlet, the speed for them to get into the 18 area box, it's very easy thing, because they are all running towards your defense. So the most important thing is to have somebody that is going to be directed, because the outlet is on the left, the outlet is on the right, so that you can go and cover that space, especially the space that is always left behind by Ufan Royen.
I want to give it 30 more seconds, because I am also worried about, okay, it's more about the build-up. So can you afford to have a ball-playing register with Makaula, or do you have to do it like Musele Ndondlo?
Depending on the assignment and the deep thought that you are going to do with your team, when you prepare for a team that you know that will always go wide on the right, you just give the assignment to your register to say, man, with your rest defense, we want you mostly on the right-hand side because we are strong on our left-hand side. Or we want you mostly on the right-hand side because we are strong on our left-hand side. So in our case, with Van Rooyen going forward, I think our right-hand side is the most one that we need to occupy with our register, or the man that is going to protect our defense. So I think it's about assignment, clear assignment to say, you are going to protect that side. Whenever we lose the ball, please protect that side.
Okay, no, for time. Benny, thank you so much. Let me go to Prachoma. Prachoma, welcome to the show. How are you? Let me see if I can get Prachoma in. Okay, I think there might be an issue. Let me do this. I'm going to go to Prasem. So le right.
I can see you now because
Oshapo man rahuta. Prasem. Tell me. Orinka ke blisanzale likitimi santo mamrit Sundowns.
but women, I'm not worried about them. I'm just worried about my back four. Okay, we have a problem, but I wish we can sort it out as soon as we can, so that but we feel the pressure, but they're feeling the pressure. Don't mind them singing with Tito. They know why they are singing with Tito. So now I'm just worried about conceding the same similar goals like because if you remember the goal Texas because Orlando, similar goal like that one. If you remember the goal Ribeiro, that goal actually similar goal. So I'm wondering what are we planning? How are we going to defend as parents? Because we keep on conceding the similar goals. I understand Ribeiro and Mandla and those other guys they brought in from Stellenbosch. What are they planning regarding the defense? Because it seems like right now we only want to attack. We don't care about defending. We just say, okay, if they score, we'll score. It seems like that's the mentality. So if the opponent score, we will score more. But sometimes it won't happen like that.
Do you think, Prasemor, it's a tactical thing? Or is it a thing our Pirates at Sebore? You know, most PSL teams are not going to take advantage of that thing, man. And if it comes down to attack versus attack, who's to win a Pirates?
Yeah, so far it is working for us, but there will be those 3 games like your toughest game. Because my toughest game in the PSL as a Pirates supporter is the Skukune game, Stellenbosch game, Cape Town City game. So see those 3 teams, the teams I fear the most in the PSL, because I know those guys, they can score and they know how to defend. So if you can check, the toughest game Pirates play is Stellenbosch, is Kittam City, and that's in the team. Hey, it's always giving a problem. But then the rest, I know, I'm not so much about them. So I understand Lorena as a team. What is the plan when it comes to defense? Sometimes we don't care. It seems like we don't care because we can't defend with Togi and CVC and then expect to keep a clean sheet. No, that will never happen because Togi attacker like a ball. What does it do? Reverse. Did you see the reverse he made? The reverse he made against Sundowns. Yes, I was so pissed. And then what happens? They gave me a cocoon. That guy fit. Yes. So even the Cape Town City game, it was like, but then we understand, he just came back, but no.
Mara likense Shandu, prasemna nekire Shandu, utaba tusa kwa kumrao.
No, Shandu, remember Shandu when he signed Shandu, he was
an attacking wing.
Yeah, he was an attacking player. So we just commended him because of the speed. So he learned how to defend that Pirates. So in his nature, he's an attacking player. So I don't blame the coach playing him. Hence, they didn't sign the wingers because we know we had Shandu, we have Lelegi, we have Nkota, we have Mfukeng, Kim Vudli as a winger. So in terms of us, the system going forward, I'm not worried. I'm just worried about that back four. I just want them to sit.
Okay, we look at Sajwang Prasem. We look at Sajwang.
Let Bergman, Dino, Water or Margo, let them sit. Don't just push. Like we keep on pushing, even when necessary. We push, and then can't take the score. We're panicking now. Every game we're playing, panicking because of Rena. We're only trying to attack. And then this thing, we're going to the quarterfinals now. That MC Alger team, hey, those guys can defend. If they score one, I'm telling you, we'll see something we're going to see. It will check out 1-0, and then we go that side, check out 1-0. The aggregate is 1-0. They score one, they're done.
Could we see Prasem a back three? Could we see a back three? Maybe Liri, I don't know, Klokis BC, Maela. And then le take a couple of Van Roy and Libo Dino, a Libo Hoto, let's say at least recovered. Could that fix this?
Yes, Marot Mael. No. Okay. Can play Mael and Togi, no ways. Gabanu Magua, the part of the back three doesn't move forward and then let Hoto move or Dino move because we need someone who can run because. That game is announced we lost because of speed. Nothing else. Yeah. Reynas was too fast. Sherry was too fast. And Ribeiro was too fast for those defenders. Because what they do, they moved up. We need people who can run as well.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
But then otherwise, Baba Yellow bumper to bumper. And then we'll see.
Premier Chiefs, Runa I really can. Win, lose, draw, I can. But it's fine. Thank you, Prasad. Let me go to Pracham. Pracham, are you with me now?
I'm with you now, my brother. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you perfectly, Pracham. 2-1. Pirates, Cape Town City. How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, for me, I wasn't surprised. Remember, I was even spoiled to have a comment in your show about the game as well. So I won't say much on Alefela point. It's been a burning issue after we spoke and then you triggered my mind. But coming to the Orlando Pirates game, you know what I know about Pirates that people need to understand. You know, when the game is about to end, they get to be possessed, man. It all sharp to me. Like you can't. There's no another way. So I think it's their strength. You know, they know how to fight till the bitter end. And what to jump in again to what I've heard you guys mentioning, coming to CAF. I love their coach, how he approaches. You understand? He's brave, he's very cautious, very respectful, but he knows what to do. And he knows the strength of the team is that towards the end, they're going to kill you. Talking about Makaula as well, Makaula's got some few goals lately. So I would simply say, yes, smell blood. So most of the games, you can see he wants to score and forget his role. I think that that can only be a challenge that makes up Paris to be open up in that middle because of now unalento ukuthi he can score now and then. And then jumping quickly to my point ebengifuna ukuyikhuluma. Wabona the vest tse ba di kenyang di player tse na link this thing kamera.
Yeah.
What's that?
Or the GPS tracker.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say this, but kinalo feel country papa man. We jump to things that are said. You know that thing, it's supposed to work in this way. It's supposed to have a certain percentage. Ne? And then if a player can't reach that percentage, and then they have to do something on his salary. You understand? Udlalwa Chiefs motor 74 kilometers ka 90 minutes. You understand? Udlalwa Arrows 8 kilometers. And then come month and it's a salary. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think they are not utilizing those GPS well, from Kaizer Chiefs to any team. Those things are supposed to help them to know fitness player you guy, you understand? Performance player you guy. That's when you're going to get your consistency. You sit your players down to say, it's like a laptop, let's check your graph. You understand? There's no consistency. Hence, we're having these results external and so on. Well, you get what I mean? And then we start, who can the salary in Zabon. You'll see a consistent league. You understand? That's when you're going to see, exactly, because of, it's pointless. But again, but how won't this you understand? One cannot even be judged ka GPS high to say, let's Chiefs now. You are on 97. At least how gaming 82. You get what I mean? You don't see that happening. Weekends just to be fancy, we are on par with what is happening around the world. I was even listening to this coach. I'm not sure if Floyd Tibitola High or Nanta Buare Scouts are Sundowns.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
That guy, but what he was saying, I was so sure him. Utlo scout a player we sheba ko Cubana yetsang. But these players, they can dodge anytime, they can be anywhere anytime. The only thing that teams, that's what they master, they need to master the schedule of the player. They need to know how to occupy players. You understand? From 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock, player high battle. You understand? 150,000. Imagine. Huh? I said only 150 go account high. And then ka 12 foot gym, ka 1 ka tlu. We met we are gymming. It's impossible that. You can't. They must copy what is right, go overseas. Go overseas, player by from 7 o'clock till 5. You understand? That was my penning issue, my brother. That GPS thing, I think we need to chocolate it. We need to sit on it. Kids are in, but it's a juang, Uring Mutaboni player who no reach 98, and then comes another game, you 35.
Okay.
And life here appealing.
I'm gonna jump in. We'll make it a show. I'll make it a proper topic. Let me see here on YouTube. Shout out, Maxi Boy. Okay, let me go to KG. KG, welcome. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, my brother. How are you?
Man, I'm okay. Pirates 2-1, Cape Town City. How do you feel about this game, my brother?
Maybe before I go there, my brother, I'm fair to head off. I'm fair to your show. I'm fair to they can analyze this thing, and then now I'm fair to are nailing it left and right. No criticizing, but then we are building up, even creating that mind, that capabilities in our minds. If we are talking about soccer or sport, you don't have to say, I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm doing that, this and that. But then now, into ngithande brawam kunomtshita we Chiefs angenelana ekhuluma ethena uyi Chiefs fan. Bafethu igame ye Pirates ne lokhuzana ne Cape Town City. It was a very good game, and then asikusho lokho sikuphinde several times ukuthi that coach Rivera is creative in his mind, because he can read the game. I used to listen to this commentator Mapenzela Regindlo saying that once wamfika secosha me pants asekahleli phansi, asayibuka kahle usuke ebuka ukuthi okay la ngikhipha umese ngifaka imbazo ngiphi umese ngifaka imbazo mfethu one i-problem enginayo with that team but ngiyayithanda because i-improvile siyakhumbula ukuthi ilokhuzana i-culture pirates kusenoba uhappy jane last 10 minutes we-first half last 10 minutes we-second half ibilala i-defense e-pirate but manje lawo last 10 minutes last 5 minutes it's where they kill opponent they kill opponent umuthi uyachecka i-pirate is the most important team or rather very aggressive team when it comes to the dying minutes inamagoli amaningi ewakora ngama last minutes and then manje lokho kucishe kwadropheka after ukuthi nelos kaSaleng because uSaleng was the one of those players ebevele beqhamuke ngama dying minutes brawam igame beyinhle kakhulu and then our coach mfethu is going far with those boys but i-trauma isesa mfethu njengoba usho ukuthi yena uMosele stood up Ndlondo stood up and then into manje sisezothi ke manje let us spin the coin who's going there because ikula bafana boy 4 umucheka uNdlondlo uMosele uMakhawula no talent i-problem ekhona kobo coach bethu they have to protect our players ukuthi uma sibona ukuthi akudlaleki lo mdlali siyamazi ukuthi u-right asim sideline i-Sundowns bro ngiyaxolisa ukujump i-Sundowns idlala no idliwa imaro idliwe yini
i-TS Galaxy
1-0 TS Galaxy mina nge-60 minutes I was going to take off Uribeiro ngiprotector ilokhuzana i-form yakhe ya recent because you can't go with that player ubona ukuthi akuhlangane next uyabona ukuthi they are packing ibus and then bamcontain ngendlela yokuthi na uzogcina ibona inkomo bese sikhomenta kabi sithi this player is not doing well in such a way that Utito if can change ama gears wakhe engadlali lento esingaze idlalayo ekafika nje ke idle ngo one touch ephume ngathi bethe nayi namhlanje usidla ngo one touch ebuye contain that's why we call changing gears is most important grounding and then even now this thing yama wing mfethu ukuthi wing amakuthona mina ngidlala i-wide right no wide left ngizohlala lapha up until ucoach abone ukuthi no this one is not okay but if ungaswapha uye kwa left ngize kwa right then maybe that defender I can beat it out defend but mfethu ucoach wePirates bafethu if singabukela ibhola iPirates improvile bengiyibuka ngiyicompare nePirates ka Papich la Constantine Papich uyikhumbula ukuthi yayi on fire njani but this guy mfethu is doing very good but then umshini he came for Pirates and Chiefs unama games amangaka kawaluzile but umefika kwiPirates umefika kwiChiefs ukhoza ihavoc Kabang.
Okay.
Ngiyabonga bro.
No, thank you, KG. Look, to agree with what KG is saying, for those who've watched the show for a while, you'll know that I've always said two things about Pirates in terms of just in general. Number one, for me, they're the most dangerous team in the league. When Pirates gets hot, they get hot. Sundowns this season is getting up there though, but they just lacked consistency. And the consistency was not that teams were outplaying Pirates. There was very few games where Pirates was truly outplayed. Most of it would be about Pirates maybe not showing up on the day, not being there. So I give them that. And I think this is going to be some very interesting few months ahead because Jose Rivero is going to have one big headache in terms of who to play, where to play, who to bring in, because all of these guys might be hitting their peak at the same time. But these are champagne problems. What I'll say about Cape Town City is Orlando Pirates will give you chances. It's up to you to take them. And if you don't take them, a game's going to end with the Pirates win. When you play against Pirates and Sundowns, if you don't get your punches in when you can get your punches in, you're not going to be able to win that game. Now, let's go into Mamelodi Sundowns. While I'm talking now, guys, please, we're talking about Sundowns, CS Galaxy. So if you don't want to talk about Mamelodi Sundowns, please don't request so we can make some space for the people that want to. Mamelodi Sundowns beat ETS Galaxy 4-1 in a revenge game. In a revenge game, getting back in after losing 1-0 to TS Galaxy just a couple of weeks ago. 16 shots from Mamelodi Sundowns, 7 on target. I believe it's 3 shots from TS Galaxy, 1 on target. Mamelodi Sundowns is 69% of the possession, whereas the TS Galaxy at 31. They completed 621 passes versus the 278 TS Galaxy. Mamelodi Sundowns created 5 big chances. They converted 2, they missed 2 of those, whereas TS Galaxy created 2 big chances and missed 1, Zajmovic. And then, there was 9 tackles, 1 from Sundowns, 10 from TS Galaxy. The rest is all that. Shasha scored within a minute. Within a minute, Mamelodi Sundowns was already 1-0 up. And then, of course, Reina scored 2, Adam scored, then Umahlangu scored the goal for ETS Galaxy. So let me get the next panelists in and let's have a conversation about this while I'm talking to them. If it's your first time here, feel free to press the follow button. Feel free to press the subscribe button. Whether it's roses, lions, trains. Hey, Sendang. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. Shalom, my brother. How are you?
Hi, Al-Khaim Shalom. I'm rested. I'm well rested this weekend. Agent, tell me, what did you feel about your
How
game?
long are you gonna have until the next game?
Yeah?
How long are you gonna have until the next game? Like, how long are you gonna have until the next game?
I don't care about the next game. I don't care. We'll cross that bridge when you get to it. You're still relaxing now, Rajima. Agent, how did you feel about your 4-1 win versus TS Galaxy?
Yeah, no. Let me just give a shout out to my brother Benny there. I was hearing you guys say that day talking about registers and payrolls. Like, they're about to tell us about mesellas and conquistas and what. I'm like,
Every
hey,
now
the game
and
is gone,
then,
hey?
every now and then, you must
game
dust
is
it off.
You must flex, man. The game is gone. Now deep line playmaker, Kotier role, box to box.
I get it when you call it Kutsia roll, they don't understand. We've been calling it Kutsia roll for how long?
No, man. Let me go to the game. Let me start by, because I have nothing to analyze actually on Sundowns side. I just want to say maybe first thing, the way to break a low block is score first. Maybe the first 10 minutes, make sure that you bombard the box and you score. Maybe that open up the low block. But coming into this game, I was caught off guard by the way TS Galaxy became naive. Let's say yes, you considered 1, but your game plan is you're gonna sit behind, wait for the team, and hit them on a counter, like you did. I think maybe there it shows in the experience that maybe they changed the game plan after 1 minute. You can't do that, even if you've considered. Because I think they started to apply a medium low block to a high press, and then you're always going to be exposed if you're going to play a medium press to Sundowns, So tactical naivety, inexperience, I don't know what you put it down to. So, but otherwise, I have nothing to analyze on this game. Maybe khoza. Let me just say khoza that I think we have to be patient on the ball, Shem. I don't think he's overhyped. I think he's hyped enough. Remember his age, and there's a reason why defenders usually and keepers are the oldest people in the team, So sometimes you have to give leeway to the boy. He will learn and he'll find, So I think that's all I can say.
I wanted to ask you, do you think that TS Galaxy's mistake was coming into this game wanting to fight? Because even if the fight went well, are they able to fight for 90 minutes?
No, I think, like I said, it shows the... I don't want to say the tactical ineptitude of the coach. I think it's done more to the players that they changed the game plan after 1 minute and they wanted to go pound for pound now because there was issue for that goal, so that if they can have that goal, then they can come back and sit back to the original plan, But like I said, stick to the plan. The chance will come, Even if you lose 1-0, it's more respectable than losing 4-1.
So then, before I let you go, I want to ask you, if Zajmovic scores that chance he got and it goes to 2-2, do you think that TS Galaxy comes to their senses? Is it a different game?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's what they're chasing. They're chasing for that equalizer to come back and sit down and, play their normal games. That normal game of sitting back and then hitting on the counter, But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. So, like I said, it shows the inexperience because big teams like, Atletico, even if you score 1, they're still going to play low block because they know a chance will come either way, And then I think when I still have time, I can talk about Jody. I think he showed a bit of rustiness. I'll forgive him. because I think he how many games has he played ever since he joined Sundowns? 4, 5?
I think last season he played 4.
Yeah, so I think
If
that
I'm not
shows, and then
mistaken.
maybe I know it's a tough position to rotate, but maybe it shows that we need maybe to rotate more beyond Onyango and Williams. We know what Onyango will give you, So if it's not necessary, rotate with the other young ones, especially Lusanele Shabala, because I feel like he's good. Because if you call Onyango to a big game, he will deliver, even if Williams is injured. So I think maybe it's that time we explore with our third choice, because I think our third choice reminded me of some teams' second choices who tell easy, but we're not there. And then I just love the coach. The coach said something very interesting in the last 30 seconds. He said, after we scored the 4th goal, I was no longer coaching, but I was managing the team. I was managing the situation. I was like, guys, relax the ball. We have a game to play now. I'm just thinking about the next game. I was not coaching, I was just managing the game. So I think it shows maybe that UEFA Pro license, maybe it's not overrated after all. I think it shows the levels with maybe all the likes of Coach Rulani, who still want to go for more, Like you said, the difference between Sundowns and Pirates is Pirates, if they see that you're open, they're gonna score 8, but Sundowns are gonna score 4 and call it a day. Cheers.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Agent. Let me go to Ongama. Ongama, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oti, how are you, Mfit?
Man, I'm well rested, guys. I rested. Tell me about this game. 4-1. Mamelodi Sundowns Chiefs Galaxy.
Before I start about the game, Oti, I'm disappointed, man. Itikiti benzibene ukuyobuyela umdlalo pha amatikiti avela phela njengawadenge yes.
Slow.
Sanabona imessage kwi-group pha khona umuntu ovela athenga amatikiti ayilento ayi-10,000 kwi-Sundowns. Awu kanti njani le group members?
Basazowathengisa, don't worry.
But ke akho wena uthi let's get into the game uthi. You know Sundowns, it's one of the teams that that knows how to grind results. It's the team that knows how to grind results, and its coach, they know how to grind results. Whether how much the difficult situation is, they know how to get the 3 points into the team. That's one thing that I recommend about coach of Sundowns. He find a team that was working, and he tried to make sure that he keeps consistent as much as possible. So I was even checking the system, that system of Sundowns. It's frequently changing. I think the Sundowns is playing a 3-5, a 3-4-3, also changing as a 5-4-1, 5-4-1 or something like that. I'm not sure. It's a system that changes. I think the coach of Sundowns want players that are adaptable in terms of the system that he wants to play, and also he is also a person that is defensively minded, that wants to check the situation. How did you plan for him? That's why you always, when you come back into the second half, Sundowns always make diplomatic changes, and they come on new guns blazing. Is that type of a coach that check the type of planning that you came with, and make sure that you capitalize on what you planned for him and come with the results with that thing. That's one thing that I have seen with him. So coming into the game of TS Galaxy and Sundowns, one thing that they came to do in that game, they wanted to, before the team of TS Galaxy make things very difficult, they wanted to make sure they get the early goal as much as possible, to make sure that they cycle into the game and make sure they check the planning of TS Galaxy. Then when they come back into the second half, they make sure they suffocate Sundowns on their planning, or TS Galaxy on their planning, and make sure that they get results. That's one thing that I observed about Miguel Cardoso. He knows how to change the situation when they are coming back from the dressing room. That's one thing that I observed in the previous games that I observed in Sundowns.
Can I ask something? Can I ask something, Ongama?
Sure.
Do we give TS Galaxy any credit for this game? because, you know, often we say that teams must be brave and confront Mamelodi Sundowns, and his collection of the two games did show that maybe they can play ball, they do want to be positive, they do want to do those things, but they just ended up at the 4-1 loss. Do you think that we should give them credit for that, and should more teams try that, or should it be low block all the way, man?
You know, when I would say you have to work with something that has worked for you before. Don't try to act smart against Sundowns. When you are acting smart against them, they will harm you. That's one thing that I've said in the previous game. You have to reserve your energy when you are playing